The first thing we should consider is setting up a dedicated work area. Any room will work even if it doesn't have windows. A blank wall and a table would be ideal. However, just a hung drapery will do the job just fine. Next, we are going to make a very simple geometric bust out of cardboard to use as a subject in our first drawing. I've just used an existing box, masking tape, and some old white paint. It's important that the paint you use be white or a very light color. Next, I'm going to use some cardboard to make a cylindrical shape that will stand in for our neck and our bust. We will use another box as the shoulders. Now that we have a subject set up to work from, we have to make sure we are properly set up to do our work. Traditionally, artists were trained to work standing up at an easel. The main reason being that standing allows you to freely move back and forth from your picture. This is critical in being able to properly judge your work. Another option is a drawing horse. This allows you to sit, but also gives you the ability to step back and away from your work. A third option is using a chair as a support in an office chair with wheels to sit on, and again allowing you to roll back away from your work. Of course, if none of these options are available to you, a simple table will do just fine. The important thing is remembering to always stand up and get back away from your work to allow you to better judge what you are doing. Another thing that's often overlooked is lighting for your work area. Make sure you have enough light that you can see by. The drawing board is very important. However, I would not go to an art supply store and buy them. They're very expensive there. You can make one for a few dollars. You can go to a home store, buy some quarter-inch plywood or luan, and cut one out for just a few dollars. As far as paper goes, there's no need to get anything too expensive. A regular pad of paper will do just fine. 18 by 24 is a good size to start with. And I would recommend using 2 sheets of paper on your drawing board so that the grain of the wood does not come through and interfere with your drawing. Another handy little tool is a bulldog clip that you can purchase anywhere for just under $1 probably. And of course that will help keep your paper together. For our drawing implements, we're going to keep it very simple. Charcoal pencils, as well as a kneaded eraser and compressed charcoal. Of course, if you don't have access to charcoal pencils or other art supplies, 2B yellow pencil with an eraser will work just fine. I have my supplies ready and close by. My easel is in a good spot and I have a good general lighting. Almost ready to go, but before we start, we still need to do a couple more things. I shut off my main light and now our bus is being lit by a window. Natural light is very beautiful, of course, and most artists will only work with daylight. The only problem with it is that if you don't have a window or you paint in the evening, you don't have any daylight. Luckily, regular house lights will work just fine. While we have the daylight on our bust, there's a couple of things I'd like to point out about the quality of daylight. The first thing you notice about daylight on a form is the relative softness of the shadows. They are not very sharply defined. This is due to the fact that the light coming through my skylight is actually reflected light from the sky and not direct sunlight. If direct sunlight were coming through, of course, we would have very sharp shadows. Another quality of daylight is its cool or bluish tinge. This is not very evident in this image, but you will clearly see the difference once I turn on the spotlight. The light I am using now is a standard 60-watt house light. It's important when doing this exercise to only use one light source to keep things simple. Feel free to move your light around and experiment with different angles until you come upon something that you find interesting. The last tool we need to make before we get started is a viewfinder. All you need is a piece of cardboard about 8 by 10 inches and some scissors. You can also simply use an old picture frame or mat if you have one.